All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling airy? Let's talk. But first, I'd like to introduce you all to Miss D. Miss D doesn't speak too much, but today she's gonna talk. We're gonna make her talk. She over there trying to act shy. I don't know what all that's about. Nonetheless, let's talk about unions. I know y'all about to, don't you click it off. Don't you click it off. Cause she gonna talk to us. So, okay, she gonna talk to us. She gonna tell us what she do. She gonna tell us how she, first off, D, you gonna talk?
I'm waiting for you to finish.
Okay, well, she waiting for me to finish.
Your intro.
Okay, well, yeah, she a carrier. She a carrier over here in and yeah, she gonna talk about something that everybody should be doing at every union hall USA, but it happens at no hall USA. What we talking about? Let's get it.
We're going to be talking about the CCA and PTF appreciation night that we will be holding on July.
Sometime.
Yeah.
What? We don't need to know when. We need to know what it's about.
Well, basically it's about us getting together as a union to appreciate the CCAs and the PTFs that we do have. Because when you deal with management, they're not going to say you did a good job, you completed the route at a good time. There's always going to be like, oh, you took too long. So it would be nice to just hear you did a good job today. And we thank you for being at work today, because you didn't have to come to work.
Didn't have to. You were supposed to come, but you
You
didn't
didn't have to.
Okay, so you came up with this idea.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me why.
Well, when I started back in 2014, it was very hard to be a CCA in my office. So there was plenty of times and plenty of nights I went home and I was mad, I was frustrated, I was upset. And then just to come back into work the next day and be like, oh, you missed this, you didn't do this, or whatever the case may be. And I always thought it would be nice just for one day to come into work and they say, you know what, thanks for what you did out there yesterday. And they don't do that. And we pay our union dues every month or every 2 weeks or whatever to the union. And we're supposed to be fighting for them as a union, but they kind of get overlooked. They focus more on the regular carrier, the full-time carrier.
That part.
Instead of the CCAs or the PTFs. But they're the ones that are out there grinding after that full-time regular go home.
Grinded.
So I felt as if we needed to do something amongst our branch to bring them in to keep them, because the turnover rate from when I started to now is real high as far as keeping the CCAs employed. They quit, they frustrated, they're out there skipping their breaks and everything, and now they're passing out. And when they pass out, the supervisor's like, are you still gonna finish the route? No, I just passed out. How am I gonna finish the route?
Well, they're not only passing out. Did you hear about the carrier that passed away?
Yes.
Over there in Texas.
Yes.
It was a gentleman, he was in his 50s, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he was in his 50s, and, condolences to the family. And it is unfortunate that, this is off a side note, that his wife was trying to reach out to find out what the next steps were, because they wanted to do an autopsy to find out whether or not his death was related to, work. And she, for some reason, and it's in the articles, that she can't reach anybody in human resources, which I think is piss poor, because truth be told, and I said it before, the carriers are they the backbone. They make this thing work. I bring the mail in the truck. I don't touch the mail. But it's people like this and people like you guys that actually get and do the grinding. So, I just want to know why did they not even reach back out to the lady? You know what? That's for another day. Let Miss D, finish up. Saying why are you doing this again? What is exactly like? What brought you to this? Tell us a little bit more.
3 years ago, I was listening to a lot of the CCAs because I was teaching Carrier Academy at the time. And I always gave the people my phone number at the end of the class. Like, if you have any problems or situations, just give me a call. Even if we're not in the same branch, because in our area is multiple branches.
Okay.
So I would train people from other branches as far as their union is concerned to call me if they had a problem.
Okay.
And then I'm hearing all these different people calling me from different offices, just talking about it and basically have an event session with me. And I'm like, maybe if we get them all together in a neutral place where they can openly talk, because sometimes when the CCAs are on the workroom floor and they try to talk to their shop steward, management comes, oh, y'all can't be having no conversation, y'all get away. But then they're having a real situation.
Okay.
So they don't have the opportunity to speak to their shop steward, or they have them coming in after that shop steward makes it out to the street. So they have nobody there to defend them while they're there. So we can have a meeting, everybody can come, as big as the union hall is, everybody can come, and then you can openly talk to your president, vice president, shop steward, just get it out into the air. Because as a shop steward, which I was a shop steward for a little while, in a big office, you can't talk to every person in your office and try to get everybody's situation. So bring them to the union hall, sit down, give them some good food, and just have an open forum. It's not a meeting per se, it's supposed to be an open forum. So we did our first one right before COVID, and we had a great turnout. And we did one last year because we're back in the building now, and had a great turnout last year. And then I'm gonna do it again this year, just so we can see, because if we're having the same problems over and over and over again,
right,
and we're not fixing the problems, we're not doing our job as a union.
I know that's right. Well, I try to tell you. Okay, I know that's right. I'll never see this lady smile either, but thank you for that. Yeah, so basically what she's done is she brought something to the union president, right?
No, actually, the way I brought it to the branch at one of our branch meetings.
You don't correct me on my channel.
It's okay. It's okay. You're not a carrier, so you don't know how it works on the NALC side.
I
So
don't like to be corrected.
I'm just gonna let you know. No, I brought it to the branch in one of our meetings to have a motion, because if the branch votes on it, it has to be done. I don't need the president approval to do this.
Okay, no, I'm learning. No, that's good. That's good. Y'all are learning too.
Because if the branch votes for it, which honestly, when I brought it to them at first, they were like, the CCAs are not going to come out. The CCAs are not going to participate. They're not going to want to drive, because our union hall is not really centralized in between where we service people.
Okay.
So they were a little hesitant. Oh, the CCAs are not going to come out. You know, they're not going to travel that far. And I got on every office, every shop steward case, like, hey, tell your CCAs to come out. This is going to be beneficial for them. And I had even some shop stewards that didn't want to partake in it. But because I taught Carrier Academy and I do driver's training, I got a lot of more connection with some of the people, and I builded a bond in Carrier Academy with some of the students that are still currently employed.
Okay.
So I reached out to them and was like, just come out. I'm gonna have great food, like home cooked food. Like, my mom cooked some things, my grandma cooked some things. So it was like, you weren't coming out just for a pizza party. You got good food and you got a lot of information. I built this kit with just information that they needed to know, like what's their rights, about opting, about their work guarantee, that they can get FMLA.
I don't talk about that on this channel. We got too many lazy people already.
Well, I mean, if a young lady gets pregnant, she's entitled to FMLA. So it's not about being lazy.
That sounds one-sided, because men can't get pregnant.
Well, if a guy's mom gets sick and he becomes her sole caregiver and has to take her to appointments or whatever, he can get FMLA.
Okay, well, maybe my son got sick. Maybe I ain't got a mom.
Well, your son, your dependent, whatever.
I can use that for FMLA?
Yeah.
Y'all see how I incorporated that in there so you guys had your questions answered. Just stirred the pot a little bit. Okay, but anyway. Okay, well, I mean, that sounds good. But what happens if it's too far? Because everybody that's watching here, I mean, they say that some people, they say they don't know where the hall is. That's number one. Some people say that the hall is too far. Suppose the president doesn't agree with it.
Well, because I made a motion, I'm gonna start backwards. Because I made a motion, the branch voted to have this meeting. So the president doesn't have a say if the branch votes yes to have the meeting.
Oh.
So once I bring it to the branch and I make a motion in a sense, make a motion that I want to have this meeting.
Okay.
If the people that are in attendance are in agreement, ayes and nays, I got more ayes than nays. So he doesn't really have a standing within stopping the CCA meeting.
Okay, so it could be held at the hall. Why?
It can be held at the hall because part of my motion was to have it at the hall.
So why he couldn't tell you, no, you can't hold it at the hall?
Because it was a part of the motion.
Okay.
So however the motion is brought up, that's how it stands.
Oh, okay.
So if I would have I just want to have a meeting with no location, then that's when I would have to go to him. But because when I brought it up, I put in my motion that I wanted to have it at the union hall.
So why the union hall?
Because we pay our union dues. It's our hall as union dues paying members. So why not have it at the place where I pay for it? Because I basically pay for the lights in a sense, even though it's like $30 or whatever, but I'm still paying for the lights. I'm paying for the water. This is my building. And it's not being used for anything else but one meeting a month, and the secretaries and the president have an office there. So why not use it? And then I feel like the union hall is supposed to be like your, not comfort zone, but your safe zone. That's what I'm thinking. Your safe, your safe zone. So I feel like I can say whatever I need to say in here and not get penalized or, any problems. And when I'm in the office talking to my shop steward, I might get an extra piece because management don't want to see me talking to the union. But if I come here, I can speak freely, say what I have to say, and then it also gives the president and the vice president a chance to get an understanding of what these people are really going through.
You don't think that they understand?
Nope.
Why not?
Because when I first came in, it used to irk my nerves when I would be having a problem and an old carrier or veteran carrier or whatever would say, oh, well, when I came in, I had it much worse than you. Oh, you'll get through it. You don't know what that person's personal situation is and then got to deal with this on top of it. And it's not the same.
Okay.
We didn't have the amount of mail that they had in 1980 when you came in.
All right.
So that used to hurt my nerves. They
get on your nerves. Okay. I mean, we all have nerves. But overall, if you were able to talk to union individuals right now, and you wanted to spread your word on how to go about doing this and why you want to do this, this is your forum. Explain it, because I'm sure that there's a bunch of union members that actually would like to get their voice heard, but they don't know how.
Well, I feel like the best way to get your voice heard as a union member is to actually start attending the meetings. I started attending the meetings in 2015, and I go as regular as I can. But you get a lot of information when you come in there to know, because you can't always rely on another carrier telling you something and it's actually contractual, because there's a lot of myths about things out there that are not contractual about what can happen and what cannot happen to you. So you just have to get involved. Like, you're paying your money every 2 weeks, it automatically comes out your check. So why not get involved to see what's going on? And all you have to do, because I'm pretty sure it's the same nationwide, it's just put a motion in, you gonna have to do all the work once you put the motion in.
Okay.
It's not just gonna be like, oh, I put a motion in, then next month we have a meeting. You're gonna have to I put a lot of work into it, from the food to the paperwork and everything that I supply, because I want to give these people the knowledge that they need. Because when these people that have 30 years in, they came in 1984, they start putting in their retirement papers, the CCA is going to become PTFs, and the PTFs going to become the full-time letter carriers. You need the knowledge. You need it now, not when you become a full-time letter carrier.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing your information. That was very, very useful. I couldn't crack too many jokes in this because she was sharing a lot of information. She's finally looking at the camera, but that's cool. No, it's you looked a couple times. She won't debate me like everybody else, but nonetheless, Ms. D, I appreciate you sharing that bit of information. And
I want to say one thing.
Okay.
That you said to me. I'm not doing this to try to be an elected official.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not. Trust me. I don't want no problems. I'm just doing this just to appreciate my fellow co-workers, because when they do things, a lot of times they exclude the CCAs and PTFs like they don't exist.
That would be the PSCs as well. If you're in, we're not just talking to carrier crowd.
Okay.
We're talking to everybody.
Yeah. They do look at the PSCs like they don't exist either too.
Yeah.
It's always about the full-time letter carriers. It's always like a little piece of segregation in a sense between the full-time carriers and the non-career employees. And we should all be working together. And if you have information as a veteran full-time employee that you can give to the new employees, that's going to be beneficial. Not don't be telling them, oh, just drop the mail in the garbage or whatever, but stuff that's going to be beneficial to them. Give them that information. They need that information. You need to spread the information on how to make it, not how to do all these shortcuts that might cause these people to lose their job. But no, I'm not running for elected. I just like the CCAs. When I started doing Carrier Academy, it gave me a different outlook on the position. Because even though I was a CCA, I didn't have it as hard. I had it hard, but not as hard as some of the CCAs that I see now. So maybe if we do this one meeting, they might continue to come to work because they feel better about coming to work. And plus they go get some good food.
It's a show of appreciation for our fellow employees.
And we love to eat.
Okay. All right. No, but it's true. I mean, I do my diligence with my channel to try to share information. I give my opinions as well, but I don't speak specifically to one craft. That's why I try to get people from different crafts on here. And it would be definitely helpful if the non-career people felt appreciated, because every day we go through foolishness. I'm being real light with my words, but foolishness, and just to, have to go home, go to sleep and come back. I always say I'm headed to the dungeon, and that's what it is. These people don't want to come back because there's no gratification. There's nothing that comes with it. And then they feel as if the union has abandoned them. So, if they don't have nothing going on at work and no union to help them and they're paying union dues, yeah, they get discouraged and they don't want to show up to work. This could be a little bit of icebreaker to start something new. So again, I speak to everybody. If you have the opportunity, I said it in my last video, please do your own diligence. If you have a co-worker that you cool with, that you chop it up with, that whatever, and both of you actually say, look, man, I'll spend, $100, you spend $100, whatever, and you get a couple other people who go with it, start something, make it work. If she did it by herself, I think anybody could do it, right?
Yeah, and I'm not spending my own money.
Whose money you spending?
The union money.
Oh, you do this with the union money?
Yes.
Oh, well, slap me silly and call me Sally. How you pull that off? Oh, because of the motion?
Yeah, part of my motion was to ask for them to supply money so that we can get the food and the supplies and everything that we need for the meeting.
Oh,
It's your money, so you might as well spend it back on yourself.
Well, French door kiss me. Alrighty then. No, see, again, I don't know everything. Just shut me up on my channel 3 times today. But Ms. D, I appreciate you. Again, we done went a little bit longer, but hopefully this information is helpful. If you feel like there was any good to this information, share it with your union. Maybe. I'll never tell you guys to share never. I don't say subscribe. I don't say none of the turn on your bells, none of that. This one, share with one of your union people and see if it can possibly spark a flame. That's it. Just a little spark. One little spark. Tear down a whole forest. You see me? This is JH and my stomach's growling. And that's Miss D. And we out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.